Hi everybody, it's Kim here at Touch of Magic. If it's your first time here, welcome. I'm happy to meet you. And if you are coming back for another video, I'm happy to see you again. Today I'm doing the May show and tell for Spellbinders Clubs of the Month. I have 7 clubs for the 2026 season, and I get to show them off every month, and it's so much fun. So let's get right into it. I will add graphics on the screen as I can to show you photos of what the club packaging looks like if it's available, or at least something that gives you a clearer idea other than the packaging I have. We don't get full packaging as designers for Spellbinders. We typically get the sample packaging, which is great, and we just roll with it. So this month, the theme is called Hello Summer, and you will see that collection is so fun. I love that all of these, whether you get 1 or 2 or all of them, or you do the whole, it's not called the caboodle anymore because I wanted to say kit and caboodle, but it is the all crate club, so you can get all of the kits plus bonus items. I have 7 of the 8. It is fun. Let's get in. So starting with the stamp set and die set of the month, it is now a single unit, everything included, all the dies. So we have the stamp set called Burst of Summer. We have Happy to be Thinking of You, Hope Your Summer Starts Right. Let's see where this goes. It felt like a U card. Hello, may your summer be perfectly chill, sending a burst of happy. Let's roll. Party like it's 1776. So if you're in the US, this is very much geared towards that. Couldn't resist sending this. Also, happy 4th of July. Again, if you're in the US, this calls for a celebration, unless it's, somebody with a 4th of July birthday, and that can work for that too. This calls for a celebration. Thought you could use a smile, grateful for your service. And that could be really for anybody. It doesn't have to be military. It could be somebody medical, somebody that's a teacher. It could be very versatile. So that is the stamp and die set of the month. And then we have the stencil of the month. And the stencil is called Dots of Summer. And those are the first cards I'm going to walk through. I do have the clear stamp and die set of the month kind of scattered through all my cards. So here is the first one I've done, which is just a happy card of cool tones. This one, I did the split style, separated it for the sentiment. Happy to be thinking of you in there. I made a lot with the stencil. I love layered stencils. And if you want to step it up a notch, you can do, I did rainbow all down instead of trying to pick each stencil. There's 5. Let me back that up for a second here. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stencils, and you could either do them each an individual color like I've done here, or for this one I just did a rainbow across each one to give you that tonal look. And then the one layer I added some paste and some fine glitter just to give it a fun little shine. I think that sparkle is going to show, so it's a nice little happy birthday card. And this is from the April collection of the Sentimentally Yours sets, and I love these. They are perpetually on my desk to use on my cards right now. So that's what the sentiment is there. And then this one is kind of a variation of the first one, where I've taken just a chunk of it and added the thank you up at the top with a clear, a tonal strip to tie in the sentiment. And then I had fun with shape cards, which I don't do a lot of, but it always makes me want to do more. So this one, I've combined the colorful color block accent arches with the Essential Arches die, which is this one, to give a shape card with that fun texture around the edge. And again, the dots I've done here in a cool tone, and then another happy birthday sentiment. So that's all of them with the stencil of the month. Then we'll move into the press and foil plate of the month. And I realize now that everything I did was with the press plate. I didn't actually foil it this month, which I will do and add into my stories at another time. So the May 2026 foil is the matte silver. So I definitely will get in there and do that. I just realized I hadn't done it yet. I love press plates. I have a lot of fun with it. I've got extra panels, and I've used, I don't know if that's going to pick up the shine. I've used a couple of the metallic inks that I have to give a different look. So you can see that. I think that shine's going to show. So the 2 cards that I did finish, and as I said, I've got extra panels to go. I've done this in just a really soft teal ink. and then a darker teal here, and then the sentiment off the die, the press and die, that is. So we've got the full press plate, and then you've got your sentiments and the dies that cut it out in one go, which is such a nice feature. And this one says, glad you're along. And this one says, things are looking up. And now this one I also paired with the 2D stencil of the month. Let me pull that out, which I've got a couple of extra panels done here for texture. Now, just to back up, the better press of the month. This one is called Up and Away, obviously, with the hot air balloons. And I love the fine detail that you get with these, as you can see in all the cards. Like, that is such a fine detail. With this one, I've used the 2D embossing folder. Now, this one is called Poolside, so it kind of gives you that neat texture that you would find around the edges of a pool. And I've added that as a shaped card here with the background. So for this one, the shaped card, again, I've done another one. I love that you can do that. And it's cool because the stitching went all the way through, so you even have texture on the inside. Is the Poppy Song Playful Stitched Rectangle set. And this came out in April of this year. So this is still current product. All right, and then we'll move into the 3D embossing folder. Now this one, I think that's going to show okay. Let me try that. There we go. That should show it. The pattern that we have there. And this one is called Radiant Day. And that is what this one is. So I've done this in two different ways. I've embossed the background panel with the same one, and then the center panel on colored cardstock. And then I used a Hero Arts glitter embossing powder. Hold on. Now, this is older product. I've had this out of a Hero Arts kit a long time ago. So the embossing powder is the yellow Prisma from Hero Arts, and it's got some serious shine and glitter in there. So I've used that. And you can see all that texture and shine you get in here. And then the sentiment is from the stamping die set of the month. So let's move into the small die of the month. This one is just so adorable. I had a lot of fun with this one. It's called Ready to Roll. Now you can put wheels on the suitcase and do all sorts of things with it. I kept it pretty simple, and I did it two different ways. And here I've used that 3D embossing folder in the background and the stamp and die set of the month here. And I've used solid colored cardstocks for everything. And I thought it kind of made like a neutral card, kind of bordering on masculine. You could really customize. So just fun. And then I took the exact same thing and I used pattern paper that I had in my stash. So for like a really cute little rolly suitcase and then a teddy bear. This was inspired because our granddaughter, we bought her one at a craft show that was made with really pretty fabric. So that's where that idea came from. And the same thing with the embossing folder in the background. That's the, let me see if that'll show. So that's the 3D embossing folder, that burst of summer. I kept it white just to make all the colors pop. And then the same thing, this calls for celebration. And then we'll move into the large die of the month. And I just really scratched the surface with this one. There's so much in this kit. This one's called Pop of Summer because it's a can of pop. It's adorable. And I've used the 3D embossing folder, the sentiment set, and then I kept it really simple for some of the items on here. But you can add, there's a bird and there's flowers and there's all kinds of stuff that you can really dress us up with. There's olives. And again, I will put images up on the screen so you can see everything else that is in here. This was real fun to put together, not complicated at all, and just turns out great. So that's all right. So one more time with a quick flash. So we have the stencil and stamp and die set of the month with some add-ons from the Essentially Yours Sentiment collection. Adding the arch frames and the really cool die. Then we've got the Up and Away for the press and foil plate of the month and the sentiments that go with that, including the 2D embossing folder here. Here we have the 3D embossing folder as well as the stamp and die set of the month. And then we have our small die of the month with the sentiments from the stamp and die set, and then the large die of the month, and again, sentiment from the stamp and die set of the month. And that's it for May of 2026. I hope you are inspired to create. These kits are available until the 27th of the month for subscription, and then it rolls over starting the 1st of the month for the new ones. I do start posting cards on my social media at the 1st of the month, but I usually try to get a video in. I usually try for the middle of the month, but it's been a crazy month. So I'm at the end of the month this year, or this month. But that's it. If you haven't already, please thumbs up. It is always so very appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed and you would like to, I would love to have you as part of my channel. And if you do subscribe, you can ring that notification bell. It will let you know the next time that I post a video. I do try for weekly. Right now, life is a little chaotic, so it might be a little less, but I plan to get back on track. Thank you again. I'm always so grateful to have you here. Have a wonderful day. I hope you find some time to craft as well, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye.